We all know the ritual. You download a new app, a box pops up with 50 pages of legal text, and you click, "I agree," without reading a single word. We treat it as a nuisance, a hurdle between us and the tool we want to use. But that click is not trivial. It is the signing of a modern social contract. In the physical world, the social contract theory explains why we obey laws. We trade absolute freedom for safety and order. But in the digital world, the terms have shifted. We aren't just citizens. We are something else.
In the physical realm, you inhabit a territory. In the digital realm, you inhabit a server. The difference is that a territory can be governed by the people, but a server is owned by a landlord. You have entered the age of the tenant user.
Let's look at why we signed the contract in the first place. Go back to Thomas Hobbes in the 17th century. Hobbes argued that the state of nature is a place of chaos, a war of all against all. Without a central authority, or Leviathan, life is dangerous. The internet, in its raw form, is that state of nature. It is open ports, malware, spam, and bad actors. We want the Leviathan. We flock to the walled gardens, the app stores, and social platforms because they offer curated safety. We willingly hand over our freedom to the platform administrators because we fear the chaos of the open web.
So, from this view, the terms of service are a peace treaty. We agree to behave, and in exchange, the platform protects us from the viruses and the noise. But here is where the analogy breaks down.
It breaks down because the Leviathan isn't a government. It's a corporation. When you sign a social contract with a democracy, you get a vote. You have rights that the state cannot violate. When you click "I agree," you are signing a contract of adhesion. There is no negotiation. There is no due process. The platform can evict you, delete your digital existence without a trial. We have built a public square on private property. The digital citizen has all the obligations of a subject, but none of the rights of a citizen.
And this creates the central tension of our time. As our lives move almost entirely online, does the private property argument still hold water? Or does the scale of these platforms demand a new set of rules?
You cannot simply wave a hand and erase property rights, Doctor. These platforms are businesses. They built the servers. They wrote the code. They pay for the electricity. If I invite you into my house, I have the right to tell you to take your shoes off. I have the right to kick you out if you start shouting at my guests. To demand that a private company must host speech it disagrees with, or that it considers harmful to its business model, is a violation of their freedom.
That analogy worked when there were 10,000 small websites, General. If you got kicked off one, you went to another. But today, 3 or 4 companies control the infrastructure of human communication. If you are evicted from the modern digital ecosystem, you aren't just removed from a house. You are exiled from society. You lose your bankability, your social circle, your voice. When a company has the power to impose social death, it ceases to be just a business. It becomes a sovereign power.
Observe the collision. On one side, the proprietarian framework. The server is territory, the user is a guest, and the contract is commercial. On the other, the public utility framework. The server is infrastructure, the user is a citizen, and the contract is constitutional. The friction generates heat because the contract is invisible. You do not see the walls of the digital state until you bump into them. It is a Panopticon built of convenience. You are free to move, as long as you move within the predicted patterns.
Let's apply this to the issue of moderation. This is the operational face of the contract.
Moderation is simply quality control. Without it, the product becomes unusable. If a platform is overrun with spam or abuse, the users leave. The platform enforces the rules to protect the value of its property. It is a business decision, nothing more.
But the definition of abuse is fluid. Historically, whoever holds the pen of the contract defines the terms. We see shadow banning, where a user speaks, but no one hears them. This is the digital equivalent of a government erasing a person from the history books. The user is not told they have been silenced. They simply cease to matter. It is governance without transparency.
Consider the glass house. The digital contract offers you shelter without rent. You pay with data. The trade-off is absolute. To receive the benefit of a personalized world, where the news is relevant to you and the map knows where you want to go, you must surrender the right to be unknown. You cannot have an algorithm that serves you without an algorithm that studies you. The price of this digital convenience is the end of privacy as a default state. The error lies in thinking the user is the customer. In a free service, the user is the product. The true contract is between the platform and the advertiser. The user is merely the terrain being harvested.
This suggests that our social contract is actually a resource extraction license. But we keep signing it. We keep clicking I agree. Why? Because the alternative is isolation. We have decided, collectively, that the connection is worth the extraction. But that consensus is fragile. The digital contract is currently broken. It is stuck between the general's need for order and the doctor's need for rights. But contracts can be renegotiated. The first step is realizing that you are in a contract. When you open your phone, you aren't just using a tool, you are entering a jurisdiction. The terms of service are the laws of your life. Read them before you agree. I'm Steve Johnson. This is the Vantage Point. Like and subscribe.